Today on VOX, we'll have information on the COVID vaccine and more. Ben Dudash will have your local weather, and Jay Standridge will have your sports.
It's Friday, April 16th, 2021, and you're watching VOX News Today.
Good afternoon and welcome back. I'm Knox Hampton.
And I'm Ethan Scoggins.
Republican lawmakers have reintroduced the legislation to ban the video sharing app TikTok from government devices. The GOP senators, led by Josh Hawley, RMO, endorsed sentence from the Trump administration and alleged that TikTok possesses a threat to data security due to its ties to China. TikTok is the Trojan horse for the Chinese Communist Party that has no place on government devices or any American devices. For that matter, Hartley said in a statement Thursday, "My bill is a straightforward plan to protect American government data from a hostile foreign power which less than a year ago possessed the Senate unanimously."
When the pandemic hit more than a year ago, rates of depression soared, with 28% of respondents in one survey reporting depressive symptoms compared with 9% before COVID-19. As levels of depression rise, public health experts typically expect suicide rates to follow, but two new studies show deaths by suicide possibly declined during the pandemic's early months. How we do managing those patients will determine how COVID impacts our suicide rates once the pandemic is over.
One angler made quite a catch in Hancock County recently. With the help of his fiancée, Christopher Barkley of Rogersville, hurled a 61.5-inch Lake Stratton from the Clutch River above Kyle's Ford, according to the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. Bartley caught the surgeon with a cut suckers being used as catfish bait. The TWRA says that the fish is nearly 30 years old and is from a registration effort that involved releasing 3,200 Lake Stratton into the river beginning in 1992.
More than 22,000 pounds of trash was removed from the Tennessee River during 4 cleanups in Tennessee and Alabama over the last month. Keep the Tennessee River Beautiful, a nonprofit group, said 75 volunteers worked together to remove more than 11 tons of trash from the river, including tires, barrels, and toilet seats.
Alabama could soon become the next conservative state to prevent transgender girls from playing on female sports teams. The Republican-dominated Alabama legislature on Thursday gave final passage to a bill that would prohibit K-12 schools from letting a biological male participate on a female team. The bill now goes to Alabama Governor Kay Ivey, who has not said whether she would sign the bill. Mississippi Republican government takes the Reeves last month signed a bill to ban transgender athletes from competing on sports or women's sports teams. Idaho last year became the first state to pass such a ban, but it faces a legal challenge. Here's Ben Dudash with your weather.
It's going to be a pretty clear sunny skies today, and I'll tell you if that lasts some more right after this break.
CRCC to me is a calling that God placed on my life to really step out in faith on something that I didn't think I could do, and it's been amazing to see how God's worked through it.
CRCC stands for Crossroads Community Church, but we're a church that our vision is to be a life-giving church in our community. We do that through helping people know God, find freedom, discover their purpose, and then go make a difference. And so that's what we're doing every week, is helping people discover their jam and go make a difference.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's take a look at our weather at a glance. Today is going to be partly cloudy skies with a high of 67 and a low of 49, and gusts of winds reaching up to 8 miles per hour going north-northeast, and the humidity percent for today is at 43. Now let's take a look at our 7-day weather forecast. Saturday, cloudy skies with a high of 65 and a low of 43. Sunday, partly cloudy skies once again with a high of 70 and a low of 44. Monday, mostly sunny skies with a high of 72 and a low of 64 and a low of 46. Tuesday, partly cloudy skies with a high of 75 and a low of 46. Wednesday, partly cloudy skies again with a high of 60 and a low of 37. And Thursday, clear, beautiful sunny skies with a high of 65 and a low of 43. Let's take a look at our local radar. There's no showers or storms near the Chattanooga or Cleveland area, so as of right now, we're all in the clear. Now let's take a look at our national radar. We got some storms that are ice and snow in near Oklahoma and near the north and northeast as well in Boston. And a bit is also in Texas, now down in the south, but other than that, we're all in the clear. Now that's all for weather. Now send it over to Jay Standridge with your sports.
Alrighty, sports fans, I'll have information on the Braves winning a game and more after this break.
In 1933, Ray Jackson founded Jackson Furniture in the midst of the Great Depression. We opened our doors the day the banks closed theirs. Since then, we have continued to create furniture right here in the USA. We have seen decades of American prosperity, challenge, war, and mind-blowing advancements in science and technology. We have never forgotten the way our company and country began, with perseverance, hope, and hard work. Throughout all of those decades of change, one thing remains consistent. Families love to relax together in a room filled with comfortable furniture. That is where we have been and will always be. From being huddled around a radio to being kicked back in front of a giant flat screen.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at some NBA scores from last night. The Bucks beat the Hawks 120-109. The Warriors beat the Cavaliers 119-101. The Celtics beat the Lakers 121-113, and the Suns beat the Kings 122-114. Now to MLB scores. The Braves beat the Marlins 7-6 on Dansby Swanson's walk-off single in the bottom of the ninth inning. The Padres beat the Pirates 8-3. The Twins beat the Red Sox 4-3. The Indians beat the White Sox 4-2. Rangers beat the Rays 6-4. Royals beat the Blue Jays 7-5. A's beat the Tigers 8-4. And the Dodgers beat the Rockies 7-5. Also, Bradley softball, Bearcats lost to Walker Valley 10-0. The WNBA's Minnesota Lynx selected Tennessee's Rennia Davis with the 9th overall pick in the WNBA draft on Thursday night. Davis becomes the 43rd Tennessee women's basketball player to be taken in the WNBA draft. She's the first player to be selected from the Kelly Harper era. Davis averaged 17.3 points per game and 8.8 rebounds per game. Both were team highs for the Lady Vols. She also had 10 double-doubles and 10 games with 20 or more points during the 2020 to 2021 season. We'll have more news right after this break.
One thing to love about the Tennessee Valley is Bradley Central Show Choir, Vocal Motion. The other thing to love is the local Geico office on Lee Highway.
You could save a lot. Oh, you can save a lot. Oh, you can save a lot. But how do you know? Unless you call 894-2600.
Got a car? Got a boat? Got a home?
Get a quote.
Alexa, ask Whirlpool. Hey Google, ask Whirlpool. Ask Whirlpool, ask Whirlpool.
Care can be a handful. That's why our Whirlpool Smart Range helps you care smarter with voice control.
Hey Google, ask Whirlpool to turn off the oven.
Set oven timer for 5 hours. Keep warm. Alexa, ask Whirlpool to preheat the oven to 350.
So life doesn't revolve around your range. Everyday care. Whirlpool.
Welcome back, Bradley Central. Fan capacity is increasing at Bridgestone Arena as Nashville loosens COVID-19 restrictions beginning on Monday. Capacity has increased 33%, or 5,700 people, with 30% of Nashville's population now vaccinated. Mayor John Cooper is loosening more coronavirus restrictions across Music City. That includes bars, many located near Bridgestone on Lower Broadway, to remain open until 3 a.m.
In the first quarter of 2020, China's economy sank 6.8% due to the nationwide lockdowns. At the peak of its COVID-19 outbreak, after COVID started to break loose in the many countries, including China, that took a very big hit to their economy standing. The growth since the pandemic has jumped around. A year later, in the first quarter of 2021, China's growth rate was 18.3%, and it was the biggest jump China has ever recorded, and according to Friday's figures, the growth will soon reach 19%.
Tennessee has been ranked 48th out of the 50 states for vaccine distribution, making it one of the lowest vaccinated states. The reason for this is that many residents are still hesitant on getting it, saying it has not been tested enough. Officials say the recent closure of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine has not helped with people's fear of the vaccine.
Europe is now the leader in COVID vaccine production, according to the European Commissioner Thierry Breton, urging an interview today. On French radio, Europe 1, Breton said that the EU member states will have enough shots to fully vaccinate the 70% of the adult population by mid-July.
A recent death of a 48-year-old woman has been linked to the AstraZeneca COVID vaccine. The woman died of thrombosis due to the vaccine she received earlier in April. Officials say she is the third person to suffer a blood clot after receiving the vaccine. Australian officials say that no one over the age of 50 is allowed to take the vaccine unless the benefit outweighs the risk.
An 11-year-old Florida girl who went missing Monday was found at home of a 22-year-old man she later described as her boyfriend, who is now facing multiple charges of child sexual abuse. Investigators said that the girl was found early Tuesday at the Tampa home of Luis Alberto following an Amber Alert. Sheriffs told the reporters at a news conference Alberto was arrested on multiple child sex abuse charges, including one count of counseling the location of a minor, one account of unlawful use of a two-way communication device, 2 counts of lewd or lewd battery, and 2 counts of sexual battery against a victim under 12 years old.
A woman suspected of killing her 3 children in the midst of a bitter custody battle says that she drowned them to keep them away from their father. Liliana Carrillo said to reporters in an interview, "I drowned them. I didn't want them to be further abused." Carrillo's children, 3-year-old Joanna, her 2-year-old Terry, and 6-month-old Sierra, were found dead Saturday by their maternal grandmother in her apartment in the Reseda neighborhood of Los Angeles.
COVID-19 has had a 10% rise in positive cases in at least 21 states. Experts are saying this shows that the pandemic is far from over. According to the CDC, more than 30% of adults in the U.S. have been vaccinated. In a CNN study shows that some states will have all willing adults vaccinated by June. Washington government Jay Isley has said that we have knocked down this virus already 3 times, but we have to knock it down for a 4th time.
Prince Philip will be laid to rest on Saturday at St. George's Chapel in Windsor, west of London. Prince William and Prince Harry will walk behind the prince's coffin, along with their father Charles. The Queen will not take part in the service. Now we would like to congratulate our Skills USA medalists For the gold medalist in the broadcast news production, we have our very own Knox Hampton, Jenny Moore, Ethan Scoggins, and Emma Sullivan. The second place for broadcast news production, we have Ben Dudash, Titan Henley, Serena Shelton, and Jay Standridge. For second place in cabinet making, we have Carter Howard. In second place in milling technology, we have Mason Hughes. Second place for our turning specialist is Cole Ledford, and second place for welding sculptor is Ethan Harina.
We're online at YouTube at BCHS VOX News. You can check us out on Facebook and, of course, at voxnews.net.
Remind your friends and family to tune in. You just can't get enough of Vox. That's all we have for you today, Bradley Central. And as always, God bless and go Bears.